you create more suffering for your boss. Eventually they will fire you because I cannot handle any more suffering that you have. So I'm sorry, I gotta let you go. I always have been having this craving of ending suffering. Okay, ending suffering. What does suffering mean? Suffering to me at that moment means, stress, frustration, not love, right? Blaming yourself all the time, feeling guilty, right? It's just all these negative energy that just suck you out of your life, right? And that's where I was. I was like, there's something is off. But one thing that I know for sure during the call that I realized is that I was addicted to suffering. Right? So that's everybody else. That's what the guru said, right? They said, yeah, you're addicted to suffering because this is how you think, right? You're like, oh, waking up in the morning, right? And you are thinking about, right? Oh, should I get my coffee or not get my coffee? When you get your coffee, you're like, man, I don't put enough sugar or not enough sugar, right? Enough warmth or not enough warmth, right? You got into your Zoom call, you're like, man, this thing maybe is shifting a little bit, right? Oh, my kids is too loud. Maybe the next door neighbor dog is barking, right? You constantly looking for what is wrong in your life. So suffering in this class, right? So let me tell you about the before, right? What suffering means before is that you're not in a happy state, right? So there's only suffering and no suffering state. The no suffering state means that you are in a happy state, you are in Zen mode, right? You are really living in the moment, and you are just happy. There's nothing else as, you don't need anything else more. You don't need more money, you don't need more whatever. And everything else is usually you're in a suffering mode, right? Suffering mode means that, in this class that they taught us about it is that you see that there's a lot of clouds, right? There's a lot of clouds. And you're like, man, I should bring my umbrella. But no, I'm not gonna bring my umbrella, right? I mean, maybe it's not gonna stop, it's not gonna rain. I'm just gonna be lazy for the day, right? But then you walk a couple steps, you're like, in your mind, you pop in again. Man, I should have brought my umbrella. What if it rains, right? And then you walk a couple more steps and then it rains. Man, I should have brought my umbrella, right? And this thought about bringing the umbrella is constant. And that means that you're actually in the suffering mode because you're not in a happy state. You're nervous about being rained on, and then you're gonna and you're gonna get wet, and then you're getting into quote unquote a mini fear mode, right? Man, what if I got wet? Then I will have to do this, that, whatever. So you're running yourself into a fear mode. But every moment that you thought about, man, I wish I brought that umbrella, every thought like that, maybe it's like 5 seconds or 10 seconds. If you add that all up, it might be taking an hour out of your life. Man, I wish I brought that umbrella. And the guru was telling us that imagine if you take this 1 hour away, how much more time you have. Because people always talk about, I'm running out of time. Do you know why you're running out of time? Because of all these suffering thoughts that you have. That is not in the moment, right? It will be in the past or in the future. Because man, what if I brought my umbrella? So when I was in the class, what I learned is if I thought about something like, man, I wish I brought my umbrella, what I would do is I would just go back to the room and bring my umbrella so that I will cease that thought about, man, I wish I brought my umbrella. Then I will at least save 30 minutes of my time, right? And when you're doing a multitasking, not that you're multitasking on multiple windows, which I know you are doing, but multitasking is also all those thoughts that you have in your brain, about that, man, I forgot to do my umbrella, right? How many of you guys thought that you think that is the only thoughts that you have in your head? No. You might be like, man, I wish, I forgot to pay that bill, right? Oh, I need to buy my kids diapers tomorrow because it's running out, right? Man, I need to, talk to my in-laws about something. Oh man, I need to tell my boss about this thing. So all these thoughts was ongoing. That's why your brain is so tired. Sometimes you feel like you're tired. You're like, oh man, I don't know why I'm tired. I'm just sitting in front of a computer and work. Why am I so tired? Because your brain is constantly running all these things in the background. Man this, man that, man this, man that. Exactly. So you got the burnout. And the truth is, can I share one more truth with you? The truth is, a lot of time it wasn't your boss that is giving you all this stress. It was you that giving all this stress onto yourself. Did you notice that? You know, a lot of the time, you know, when I talk to some VAs, right? Sometimes VAs is like, man, boss, I wanted to quit. Boss, I'm too stressed. And I was like, okay, tell me more. And you're like, well, because I was this, because of that, because of this. I was like, oh, I did not know that is how you feel. Overall, I thought you are doing amazing. Oh, boss, really? You think I'm doing amazing? Yeah. I didn't know that you have this issue, that challenges, and this, and then, and all, whatever that you have. Like, oh, okay, boss. I guess I was doing okay. I was like, yeah, you're doing great. And yes, a lot of people are talking about overthinking, right? Even though I'm not working, I'm overthinking. Yes, we all overthink. I think that's a great word. You know, right? There's just a lot of things that constantly in the background that you're running that you aren't aware. And what the class was teaching us is you need to shine the light on there and see what is going on in your brain. What are you really thinking? Right? Even at this moment, right? Besides listening to what I'm saying, what else is running in your background? Maybe it's diapers, maybe it's money, maybe it's the Zoom, maybe you're looking at, oh boss, you know, where's your earrings, right? Whatever you're thinking of right now, how many noises you have in the background is going chatter and chatter and chatter. There's just so many of them. And when I was in the class, I realized that I have at least 50 to 100 lines behind what I'm doing right now in the back that was constantly running. That's why I was exhausted. That's why I was tired. It wasn't because of the list of the thing that I need to do right now. It was all these things that is running behind my back that, you know, what if I can do this? What should I do? Oh man, I screwed up. What am I gonna do? Right? And thoughts of what other people thought of you, right? Sometimes I do that a lot too, right? Oh man, should I put my earrings on? Do I have my makeup on? Can they see me? Can they hear me? You know, is my camera doing well? Right? There's just so many thoughts inside, right? Will they leave, right? Why are they leaving? Feeling of not enough. I mean, they're just going on and on and on. So this class, it taught us how to quiet them down, how to put a light on it and shine it through it, and, you know, quiet some of those. And again, can you do it? Of course you can, but you have to be a lot more aware of what is going on, right? And one more thing, when you realize about that, you need to figure out the source of it, right? The source of why are you thinking what you're thinking. And if it is towards a person, talk to them about it so that you can quiet that part away, right? If it is a task, figure out why the task is difficult or not difficult so that you can quiet down that piece of your brain, right? So that you can, you know, you can continue on, right? You know, whatever that is. And again, be aware that a lot of those are you, okay? You in there, right? Hello, the person in you, right? That created all those chatter. Because we all thought that suffering, okay, listen to this, okay? Suffering make us more important, right? Suffering make us feel important because if it is not hard, it is not real, right? If it is easy, this job it's not real, right? You know, if I am enjoying my life, something is wrong. Because the teachers say, we constantly want more. I want more, I want more. I want bigger car, I want better life, I want bigger house, right? I want a better career, you know, I want a better husband, right? I want my kids to, you know, if my kids get B, I need them to get A. When they get A, I need them to get A+. When they get A+, I need them to get another subject, right? We constantly putting ourselves and other people in suffering mode. We constantly are trying to test our husband. Are they going to leave us? Right? If they take the trash out, great. Now I'm going to see whether they're going to clean up my kids. Great. After they clean up my kids, I'm going to see whether they're going to clean the dishes. Right? You're constantly testing them until one day they say enough is enough. You're like, see? See, you don't love me. Right? Because if they don't suffer, maybe they don't love you enough, right? If we do not suffer, we feel like we're not as worthy. And thus we constantly find things to make us suffer. And truth is, in this job, that you're doing, the easier it gets, the crazier you feel inside of you. Something is wrong because this thing is getting too easy. Something is off, right? Something is off. Something is too easy here. Something is off, right? And then you're starting to find things that is going wrong about this job or this husband or this kids. And then eventually you're like, yes, I am right. I am in a suffering mode. And at the end, what did you do? There's two things you do. You might think like, man, this is not suffering enough. So I need to go to do the next job. I need to go find a next job that will allow me to feel more suffering so that I am real. Or, man, again, the same thing. Like either you find a lot more suffering or you create more suffering for your boss. Eventually they will fire you because I cannot handle any more suffering than you have. So I'm sorry, I gotta let you go. And then what do? See? It really blew my mind. It really blew my mind when I realized that, because the teachers, just like what you're listening to me right now, they call me out, right? Not just me, everybody else too. Everybody's like, whoa, poof, right? What the hell is going on? I was seeking for everything that is wrong because then I feel good about myself. If there's nothing wrong, something is wrong.